She broke her mom's heirloom necklace, and I lied to save her. When my daughter Heather was 7, she broke something that, in our family, was basically sacred. She'd been playing dress-up with her mom's old jewelry box during a visit, something my ex probably shouldn't have left accessible, but Heather didn't know any better. She was twirling around in her princess outfit, grinning ear to ear, when I heard the soft snap of a clasp breaking. It was the necklace, the one her mom wore at our wedding, a piece passed down through 4 generations, and now it lay in Heather's tiny hands, broken in 2, delicate chain dangling through her fingers like it had been made of thread. Her face went pale. "Daddy, Mommy's going to hate me," she whispered, eyes filling with tears. Right then, I made a call I'll never regret. "Get your coat," I told her, already grabbing my keys. We spent the entire afternoon driving from one jewelry store to another. The necklace, wrapped carefully in a napkin from the glove compartment, seemed too fragile for any of them to touch. 5 stores turned us away. Too intricate, too old, can't guarantee a seamless fix. At the 6th store, an elderly jeweler looked at it under his loupe and let out a sigh. "This will take weeks," he said. "My ex is back in 3 days," I replied. He gave me a quote for a rush job. I almost choked. It was my entire saving, the money I'd been putting aside for Heather's braces. I handed over my credit card. "We'll take it." The old man promised to start immediately. That weekend, I kept Heather distracted. Movies, ice cream, puzzles, but inside, I was panicking. If the necklace wasn't perfect, my ex would go ballistic. She already thought I was a mess, my cluttered apartment, my questionable cooking. If she saw this as carelessness, she'd push for supervised visits. I couldn't lose my weekends with Heather. Those were everything. The night before my ex returned, the jeweler called. It was ready. When I picked it up, it looked amazing, but there was a tiny seam where the break had been. Barely noticeable, but still there. I picked Heather up early from school. When she saw the necklace, her face fell. "Daddy, you can still see where it broke." I knelt down and took her hands. "I know, sweetie, but sometimes when things break, they leave scars. That doesn't make them any less beautiful." We placed it back in the jewelry box, just as we'd found it. When my ex arrived that night to pick up Heather, she didn't notice a thing. As they left, Heather glanced back and gave me a little wink. It was our secret. 2 weeks later, the phone rang. My ex was furious. She'd finally noticed the repair. I braced for the worst. Lawyers, custody threats, all of it. But then Heather's voice came on the line. "I told Mommy everything," she said, "about how you spent all your money and drove to every store. I didn't want her to be mad at you." My ex got back on the phone. Her tone had changed. "You could have just told me," she said quietly. "You didn't have to handle it alone." I explained how scared Heather had been, how she was convinced her mom would never forgive her, that I just wanted to protect her. The next day, my ex showed up. She handed me a check to cover half the cost, but more surprising, she brought new custody papers. She was agreeing to 50-50 custody. "Heather told me how you stayed up all night trying to fix things," she said. "That matters."